Before I get to today's record, a reminder, I should be going to El Chopo. This is going to be, I guess, in 2 weeks. Saturday, it's supposed to be August 26th. Plans change sometimes, although with me that's very, very rare that things happen. But if all goes according to plan, I should be at El Chopo on August 26th. So if you have any requests, suggestions, anything you want me to focus on, somebody the other day, and I did write a note in my app for what he wants to see. He wanted to see a Dark Angel shirt. A challenge he gave me. This was a good one. Dark Angel shirt, Nuclear Assault, and Crumb Suckers. That was an excellent post. That will be taken care of. And I forget the guy's name. I apologize. But I will say his name when I go to El Chopo as a tribute to him. So give any suggestions, and I will try to keep them in mind when I go to El Chopo on August 26th. I'm going to talk about that in every video that I do between now and then. At least these music-related videos. So I'm going to get today to Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. This is, it's not quite my favorite Black Sabbath album, but something I'll make a quick, or maybe not so quick, comparison between Kiss and Black Sabbath, because I think this is, not musically, but just I think in the way that their careers went or that they were regarded. Because I think this is very, very, they're very comparable or comparable. I'm not sure how to say it. They both had, how can I say this? I think most people consider the first 6 Kiss studio albums, they're classics. Debut album, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, Forget About Alive, studio albums. Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun. Black Sabbath, I think also their first 6. Debut, self-titled, Paranoid, Master of Reality, Volume 4. This one, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, was 6th. And then, or was 5th, and then 6th was Sabotage. And then Kiss had 2 kind of, still the original lineup, let's say, but ones that were clearly subpar compared to the first 6, Dynasty and Unmasked. And I would say Black Sabbath had a similar trajectory on this side going down with Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. I don't think too many people would say either of those 2 albums would be their favorite Black Sabbath album. And not too many people would say that Dynasty Unmasked would be their favorite Kiss albums. Another thing for me personally, where I can make a comparison between the 2, is the first 6 Kiss albums. I've talked about this before. It's hard for me to say which I can make a case for any one of them being my favorite, or any one of them being number 6 of my favorite Kiss albums. I would say it's the same with Black Sabbath. I guess I've always considered, I don't have official rankings, I don't keep rankings, but I guess I've always considered Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath to be around 4th. But I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times this week, and I think, man, this is fucking great. It could be number 1. There's one Black Sabbath album that I've always just kind of automatically assumed that it's my number 1. I haven't listened to that in full for a while. I will get to that hopefully soon. But so yeah, Black Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. It's an incredible album. I mean, I've known it for years, but in this last week, I've realized this is way better than I thought, or way better than I remember. It's a little bit. Maybe it's also, if you want to make another comparison with Kiss, kind of like their Destroyer. I think it was their first album that had more layers to it, and I'll talk about that when I go through it track by track here shortly. There were more strings in this. There was more than just guitars, drums, bass, and Ozzy wailing. And Kiss had that with Destroyer, with Beth and I don't know what else. But, Destroyer was kind of a bigger album. And I would say Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath was too. Now, I didn't get this record. I've never had it on vinyl. I got it in CD probably in 1990, 91, around there. Never had the record, only got it on CD. And at that point, I'd been into Black Sabbath for close to, I guess, around 10 years at that point. I never got into this one I never got into some of them as much as I got into Paranoid. That's I'm giving away. Paranoid is the one that I've always, who cares? It's always been considered my favorite. That may change when I kind of go through them all. But this is incredible. This is, and I guess I can open it up now. and I had to pre-open it. So this is, I'm not putting the unboxing in the title anymore. Who cares about that? But it is kind of still in a box. But when I got so behind and started to have the Amazon problems, I started opening these up because I had a real stockpile of them. I wanted to make sure they're all right. They were all correct. So the label was correct. And I opened it just to peek like that. It's upside down like that. So I haven't actually opened it and seen it. But I will open it now. I have no idea what the packaging is like. I guess, oh hey, it's a gatefold also. Oh, this is this 2 gatefolds in a row? Was Peace of Mind the last video I did? I think it was. That was a gatefold. And volume 4 was a gatefold. I never had that on vinyl. The first album was a gatefold. I never had that on vinyl. Paranoid is, I had that. I know that was a gatefold. So maybe all the Black Sabbath. Is Sabotage a gatefold? Oh, interesting. Much better. So there it is. And here's the nice red and black hype sticker. This says Black Sabbath 180 gram 2012 remastered audio. Features the classics Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Killing Yourself to Live. And look at this. Isn't this, now this is maybe not, or maybe it is my favorite Black Sabbath album. There's no doubt that this is my favorite Black Sabbath album cover. This is fucking awesome. This is so, God, so evil, so Black Sabbath. It's got 666 here. It's got skulls and kind of demon-looking imagery. A woman being violated on a bed by these kind of demon-looking characters, some male, some female. And then the back is kind of similar. I love the font of this. I've talked before that Black Sabbath never really had one, logo that they stuck with like Kiss did or AC/DC had some before they settled on their classic logo. Same with Scorpions, but Black Sabbath never had a true logo. I love this. Now I know this is not the Black Sabbath logo, but I loved this font. Yeah, amazing. And I showed the back. There it is again. All right, so let me cut this open. I think it didn't have lyrics. I don't think Black Sabbath, I don't think any of them had lyrics. Back then, anyway. I don't know about later albums. I never got a Black Sabbath album after Born Again. I checked out of Black Sabbath after Born Again. Let me put this here. Oh, it's so delicious. Look at that. Evil goodness. I've never seen this picture in my life. Look at that. You can call me a rookie Black Sabbath fan or a noob, even though I've been listening to Black Sabbath for 40-something years. Never seen that before. Really cool. And let's see what the actual record looks like. Oh, it does have an insert, it looks like. Ah, this is cool. All right, I like this. Oh, this is a little booklet. This is, what other record did I have recently that had this? The record came in this, like a sleeve. I guess this is like the protective sleeve. And it came with this separately, which is also, it is a sleeve. I guess maybe this doesn't offer as much protection as the white. This is really cool. This has the lyrics there. This is excellent packaging. It's got, maybe it was volume 4 that was like this. It's got some liner notes here. This is, I guess this is like a little, page. This would be like a 2-page flyer thing. I guess it looks like just some notes about the album, some makings of it. So there it is. I'm very impressed with this packaging. Gatefold, lyrics, pictures, text, like it a lot. And the actual record, if you're interested, looks like it's just a black record, and there's the label. Excellent. Oh, very good. I'm very excited about this. So getting into this obviously it opens with the title track, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. What a heavy song. I don't know if that's my favorite Black Sabbath song, and I'm not even sure it's my favorite on the album, but it's a classic. It's just so heavy. Anthrax did a cover of that in '87. That was on the I'm the Man single. And it's so heavy, you know how it goes. And then what part is it? Just when you thought it couldn't get heavier, the part where can you run to? That part, Sabbath, bloody Sabbath, living just for dying, dying just for you. Yeah. I'm not going to sing the music anymore, but that's a amazing, amazing heavy song. Next, another heavy one. That's a National Acrobat, if you can't tell from my bad singing. And it's hard to talk about this without, for me, without thinking of Metallica doing it. Now, Metallica did this, they did like a little, not really a medley, but they did Sabracadabra on Garage Inc. in '98, and they added not just a little chunk, a fairly decent chunk of National Acrobat in the middle. They kind of divided Sabracadabra in half and put National Acrobat in there. It maybe some real hardcore Black Sabbath fans would think this is blasphemous to say. I think I might like Metallica's version better. I've talked about this before. Metallica did better covers than anybody. I would even say without exception, no, with one or four exceptions, the only Metallica covers that I know that I didn't like better than the originals, they did the 4 Motorhead covers. They did Too Late, Too Late. What else did they do? I think... God, I can't remember. I should be able to remember that. And I think the only reason why I didn't like those as much, because they weren't done in a studio. They maybe weren't done properly. I think they were just done at a sound check for Lemmy's birthday party. But anyway, Metallica and doing a National Acrobat is great. But the song is great too. Is that a favorite? Not quite. I don't think so. The next one is Fluff. Oh my God, Fluff is as pure filler. There's no doubt. Let me get that out of the way. It's filler, but it's amazing filler. This is, and it's like a full song, but I feel like this was meant as an instrumental. And it's got that beautiful, it's amazing that, and I think especially with this album, that there was such a contrast with, the heaviness, and they had it on other stuff too. And the really gentle, nice, fluffy, I guess, Black Sabbath. They had it on Laguna Sunrise, even Planet Caravan, Orchid, maybe something like that. But I think of all of these kind of quiet, and then later on Sabotage with Don't Start, although that was just a little interlude. Fluff is more like a real song. It's got the acoustic guitar, then another acoustic guitar, maybe a third one, a fourth one. The piano comes in, and it's just, and it's a full song. It's like 4.5 minutes, something like that. More than just Fluff is 407. Great song. Sabracadabra is next. It's funny hearing Ozzy sing those lyrics. Lovely little woman, always on my mind. She give me loving every night and day. Never gonna leave her, never going away. She makes me feel happy. It's good to know that she's all mine. Feel so happy when I met this girl. When we're making love, it's something out of this world. Very un-Oz. I know Ozzy didn't write the lyrics, but it's just kind of funny hearing him sing those lyrics, and then hearing James Hetfield sing those lyrics too. But Sabracadabra is great too. The first side is amazing. And how many songs on this? 8. Classic album. There's no need for any more than 8. Some albums are great with 10, 11, whatever, but I think 8 is a full album. Some people seem to think that you have to have 12 or 13. No. Side 2 is Killing Yourself to Live. Another heavy one. The title, this is like a Black Sabbath title, Killing Yourself to Live. Sounds very satanic. Take a look around you. What do you see? Pain, suffering, and misery. And then that, it's not really a chorus, but Killing Yourself to Live. Who Are You is next. What does everybody think of Who Are You? I don't really know what Black Sabbath fans think of a lot of, I know that this is a highly regarded record, but I've never heard anybody really talk about Who Are You. I think that's as good a song as any that Black Sabbath has ever done. And even though it's all synthesizer, it's real Black Sabbath. It's got creepy, and even though it's synthesizer, it's still heavy. Not just the musical tone, but the overall tone of it. It just sounds like a heavy Black Sabbath song. And this also has many different layers and textures to it. It's not just heavy Black Sabbath, although it is heavy. Am I making any sense? I think Who Are You? I would say so far that's my favorite. Maybe there's one more that is my favorite, but I think for now I'm going to go with Who Are You? Next is Looking for Today. And in the chorus, I don't know if it's a chorus. Black Sabbath didn't really have choruses. Everyone just gets on top of you. The pain begins to eat your pride. It's a heavy song, but during that, if we call it a chorus, it's got flute in it, flute and acoustic guitar. Again, these layers, this contrast between the heavy and the soft is just amazing. Amazing contrast. And I know there was other piano. What was the other song that had piano in here? Was it Sabracadabra had piano? I think towards the end. I think it was Sabracadabra towards the end. And then the last song is Spiral Architect. This is maybe my favorite too. I don't know, this one or Who Are You? And this one also has that really nice acoustic guitar intro. And then even when the electric guitar comes in, the acoustic guitars are still going. So you have that mixed together, the electric and acoustic going together. Of all the things I value most of all, great song and great album. That felt very quick. Well, it's only 8 songs. I've really rediscovered this record this week, which is funny that this record has been around. I guess this is 50 years. This came out in 73. And I should say, a guy, I think it was Ernesto White, who maybe he's watching this. Hello, Ernesto. I think it was him. He correctly predicted that I was going to talk about this record. I mentioned about a month ago that I had a great record from 1973 coming up. That was all I said. And he guessed Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. So bravo, Ernesto, if that was you. So it's been around for 50 years, and I've had it, I guess, for about 30 years. But I'm realizing now that Sabbath Bloody Sabbath could possibly be. Maybe I'll have to reevaluate my official list when I listen to the other ones. But I would say right now I'd put this Paranoid, Master of Reality, Volume 4. This one, those could be in 2, 3, 4 spot. Anyway, so that's it. That's all for me and for Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. And don't forget El Chopo on August 26th. Leave your request down below and I'll try to get to it. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.